What's up, y'all? This is another moment of A1 Said It, and I have a message for you, the people of Christ, Christians, and the LGBTQ community. Now, I normally don't like doing videos like this. I talk about God and Christ on my channel, but pertaining the gay community, I know how sensitive that subject is to people, and so I typically try to stay away from subjects like that. But I had a revelation the other day, and I'm just being the messenger. Some of y'all won't like it, some of y'all may like it, but I think more won't like it than will like it because, God has a standard, and He wants us to live by that standard. And so here it is. Um, I'm going to step on some toes when I say this, so just take it as it is. I couldn't make this up, and I'm not trying to make it up, but I never thought of it like this, and here it is. Okay, so I was driving to work the other night, and I didn't have no radio on. It was just quiet. I was going through a part of the country where it was just cornfields, so it wasn't a lot of just noise and distractions and lights and stuff. And God gave me this revelation, and I was like, "God, you sure right. It makes sense." So, you know how gay people have their festivals. They call it Pride. They call their community the Pride community, I guess. Don't know much about that. I'm just saying. And they use the rainbow flag, the rainbow colors as their symbol of who they are. What that means, I don't know. I'm just being genuine with you all. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But that's what they do. But God said, I'm going to make my enemy my footstool. I said, okay, how you plan on going about that? And he said, they've been promoting me the whole time and didn't even know it. I said, okay, how they been promoting you? He said, back when Noah and the ark and I had the flood, I said, yeah. He said, remember when I promised you I wouldn't destroy the world by water, but when I come back the second time, I'm going to destroy it by fire? Like, yeah. And what was my promise to you that I would do that? I said, the rainbow. He said, rainbow was your promise that you was coming back a second time. What do the LGBT community use to promote their agenda? So they use the rainbow flag. He said, no, that's me. I said, that's you? He said, yeah. He said, now some people gonna think, since you saying it, me, that I'm saying that God is gay, he's queer, he's homosexual, and all that. But he said, I'm gonna make my enemy my footstool by having them promote my second promise to the world. The very people who want to denounce me in every way, I will make them prove to the world that I'm coming back. And the very people that I'm using to prove that are going to be the very ones that I judge because of their sin. Now, gay people aren't bad people. Homosexuals, gay, lesbian, transgender people, they're not bad people. They generally live good lives. But it's the lifestyle that they chose to partake of that makes them sinful, you know. And it's just as bad as stealing, lying, killing, all this. It's all sinful. You can be the goodest person in the world, but have sinful traits, a lifestyle, which is such and such, and that will separate you from God. So I said, well, I don't really know a lot about, you know, Pride and what they do and what they facilitate. So, I need to be enlightened on this. So I had to go back and look up, for me, what kind of pride really means. So I wrote down a few highlighted points and I pulled up, another source of definition. on here, and it says, not from me, it's what it says. It says, the sin of pride is an excessive love of one's own excellence that interferes with the recognition of the grace of God. It is considered the gravest and the deadliest of all sins because it leads to rebellion against God and generates other sins. Pride is delusional, spiteful, and bitter, and it declares, I don't want God to be God. I want to be God. And I was like, yeah, yeah, yeah. And so if you ever go on YouTube and you look at some of these street preachers, like Gabe the Street Preacher, a guy named Cliff, he's a street preacher. There's a few others, Nicholas, I can't think of his last name, but I watch a few of those guys, and when I watch them as they street preaching and they go to the private places and they preach God a word, I mean, this is spot on. And what I wrote down here is pretty much spot on too. The sin of pride is an excessive preoccupation with self and one's own importance, status, or possession. Pride is the opposite of humility. And if you go back and look at some of those videos of street preachers out at the pride communities, you will see exactly that.
You have the right to believe any road you want. That's true. But make sure you believe the right road.
I think for myself. I think for myself.
But say I'm gonna put all those.
I think for myself. I have a
but
brain.
Just how about saying, God, I want to
decipher what's right and wrong in my own brain.
How about having some guts and saying, Jesus?
Jesus Christ, he's out here touching little. He's that God will break that sin. This guy is gay and he's all the time, and that's why he hates himself.
So that proved to me that God was right. He's going to use his enemy of the people that totally want to denounce him and his ways and the purpose of how he created human beings to be, us as mankind, in our interaction with each other, sexually and, non-sexually. But he said that they're promoting me through their own propaganda. And I said, God, that's tough, man. I said, that's tough. I said, you got a sense of humor. I said, cause you gonna come back and judge the very same people. You gave them the thought to use the flag, the rainbow flag, as their symbol of whatever it means, but it's really saying that you coming back a second time, and every time they parade around the streets, they promote me. Every time they have a festival, they promote me. Now, through their reprobate mind, they're going to think they're doing it for them, but I turn their minds to a reprobate mind because I need them to do the work. Now, until they want to change, they're free to change and come back, and I'll accept them just as who they are because I love them just as who they are. But I don't like what they doing. They doing wrong. So I have to be the father of my creation and chastise you. And the way I'm going to chastise you now, gay community, is that every time you fly your flag, and every time a real Christian, a real devoted Christian who follows the Bible, not interpreted to live a homosexual lifestyle, the real Bible, you just promote me. When a real Christian sees that, they're going to know that they just promote God. God's coming back. He's coming back again. And that's just one way of proving it. And I said, man, that's tough. I said, God, that's tough, man. That's hard. I said, why would you do something like that? And he was like, because I need people to understand that I am real. I am not no joke. I didn't create the world just because I didn't have nothing else to do. But I created you because I wanted you to have a life. I wanted to celebrate myself with a creation of people that we can all love together. I said, that makes sense. He said, the angels were enough, but I wanted more. So I created a being that I thought would have done right by me through my creation. I'm like, okay, but you defiled that when you brought sin into the world. I gave you free will to do what you want to do, but you took it and perverted it. So I'm giving you time to work your perversions. And while you working it, I'm just going to give you little snippets, give you little things just to prove to you and give you signs that I'm real. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to keep my word, and you can stand on it. And so for the gay community, I'm sorry. I don't talk about stuff like this, but I had the revelation brought to me. James 4 and 6, Proverbs 8 and 13, 1 Corinthians 6 and 9. Just go and read them. Just go and read them. You know, and if you feel offended by what I just said, talk to God about it. You know what I'm saying? I still got my faults. I still fight with I got my own demons. But yet and still, I continue daily to work on myself. You know what I'm saying? To carry my own cross. But, you know, people are going to do what they want to do. And that's pretty much the basis of it. But every time you see that rainbow flag, just remember, that's God's promise that he's coming back. Because when he told Noah that he wasn't going to destroy the world by water again, it was going to be fire. He gave us the promise of that rainbow that we see after it rains or when we see some mist. That's God's promise. And he using his enemy as his footstool to promote his own agenda. So don't be confused out there and let folks tell you, oh, God's queer, God's gay, God's homosexual like me and you. No, he ain't. He ain't never been nothing like that. God ain't never been human, so how you gonna be gay? You know what I'm saying? How you know God's a man? Because the Bible says he all the time. You know what I'm saying? It didn't say she. And they ain't both one and one together. You know what I'm saying? So we got to have some type of common sense. I mean, let's be adult and let's be grown about this. We got to have some type of common sense about this. We know what's wrong. We know what's right. And we know when we just want to do what we want to do. I'm getting out. This video's done. I'm over with. I done said what God had wanted me to say. And if you don't like it, you take it up with him. There's a Bible. You got 6 books of the Bible in there. You can read it from Genesis to Revelation, Genesis, New Testament, Old Testament, whichever one you want to do. But remember that God has a standard, and that standard was set way before me and you ever come along, and that's gonna be my next video that I'm gonna talk about. And if you want to share and like this video, go ahead. But I'm just gonna post it out there for the world to see. This A1 to 1. I said it, and I'm gonna.